Can we start?
Yes, I'm ready.
Dear leaders, ladies and gentlemen, very warm good evening, one and all, and salam alaikum. And today is a great day. Yes, we have a very sensational topic. The topic name is what is new in PMP certification from January 2021, from the new year. Yes, it is more curious for the PMP aspirants. And about me, my name is Senthil Kumar. I'm a mechanical engineer currently working with SABIC. And I'm serving here in the PMA KSA chapter as a volunteer. And today, the topic is going to present by Mr. P. Srinivasan. He is basically an engineer, chemical engineer, having 38 years of industry experience. And he is one among the selected personnel across the world who is holding the PMP program and portfolio management profession. And over 20 years, he has trained more than 12,000 professionals on various project, program, and portfolio management. And he is one of the founder director of PMI Pearls City chapter in India, Hyderabad, and served as the chapter during 2001 to 2006. And currently, he is the director of ProVentures Education and Consulting Services. And now it's the time he is going to provide us a very useful information what is new in PMP certification from January 2021. Over to you, Mr. Srinivas.
Thank you, Senthil. Thank you, Mohammed. And thank you, Abdul Aziz, actually who initiated the conversation and the correspondence with me about this program. And thank you for all the members of KSA chapter and the board and those who have assembled here to this particular webinar. Thank you, Senthil, for a lovely introduction. I can probably identify myself with you all as a fellow colleague and a practitioner rather than someone holding multiple certifications. Most of these certifications, I took it primarily to train and mentor the people. So that's what I have been doing over the last 20 years. Now, this presentation, I would like to keep it a bit interactive because most of you may be having a lot of questions around it. So this is going to be the agenda for the next 40 minutes. There was a change in terms of the application format, which was simplified by PMI about 4 to 5 months back. I think it is important for you to know about it so that there is a little complexity in filling that, though overall application is simplified. So as a first topic, I'll take how do you write your experience summary and submit your application form. And the second major topic is how to pursue in this new format. What are the formalities, what are the roadmap, where to get trained, what are the major changes in terms of the content. Okay, so the content outline document is the one that guides PMP certification. So that has gone through a radical change. So what are those changes? And then we'll continue how one should go about preparing for certification exam. You might be a certified PMP, or you might be a trainer, or you might be an aspiring professional. I believe this approach will help all of you. And then we'll just go briefly look into those new exam content outline document and what are the major changes. And the last 15-20 minutes, we will leave it for an open forum to handle your questions. In between also, if you have any question, you can click that Q&A and then type your questions. Mr. Sendil and Mr. Mohammed will basically collate and then during the Q&A session, they will take it forward to me as well as they also can answer. However, in between, if you would like to speak, you can ask for unmute, or if you can unmute, and then you can speak about it. So let's keep it as a good interactive, very useful session, not just one way. I'm not really going to teach project management to you, so you don't need to worry about it much. All right, with this brief, let me start. You just introduced about me. I would also like to little bit introduce about my company. So ProVentures Education and Consulting is a 15-year-old company, which is one of the premier ATP authorized training provider according to PMI's new guidelines. And we are partners to Microsoft in terms of implementing portfolio, project, and program management solutions. And we are one among the few partners across the world for ProChain to implement theory of constraints and critical chain project management. And then we are one of a global partner to PM for NGOs, primarily for foundations, government, NGOs, where not-for-profit programs and projects, how do we run? And then when it comes to some big implementations with ERP, the backend, there is other partner from Germany called the Project Group. So with these things, over the past 14 years, we are serving our corporate as well as individual clients. We provide a complete range of PMI credentials, PMP, PGMP, PFMP, SP, RMP, ACP, etc. And we consult in portfolio and project management and setting up PMOs with project management information system as the backend. We are also doing a lot of agile trainings and other things. So let me move on to the subject for the day. Along with me, a couple of my colleagues also have joined. My associate director Vijay Prashant and the one madam who heads the education wing, Ratna Kumari. Right. What's the difference between the old application and the new application? So primarily people were struggling earlier to document the 4,500 contact hours spreading across multiple domains of project management. So that part PMI has removed it. They just maintained only 36 calendar months need to be demonstrated. And there was other major challenge was you need to abstract your experience in 550 characters. So now that they have changed it to, you have to write your experience between 100 to 500 words. Okay, it is good. You can nicely narrate your experience, but they expect the essence of your experience to be presented over there. So the new application form is very simple. Just 3 sections: education, experience, and how you would like to write the exam, how your name should be appeared in the certificate, etc., etc. Okay, so that's the newer format. Very simple. You can do that, except that experience summary writing part. Okay, that's what I'm going to explain it to you a little bit in detail. Okay, so that's the difference. So the difficult part, only difficult part is, okay, writing your experience summary with a minimum of 100 words, maximum of 500 words. So let's go how it looks like. So this is a high level format. Education, once you complete, it will get ticked. It will move to the workflow, will move to experience, and then exam details. In the experience, academic education and professional education. Okay, so now from January, even the professional education part, okay, the PMI, once you complete your training, will automatically credit the 35 contact hours into your personal profile in PMI website. Okay, because it will automatically approved, because you have to take the training only from authorized training partner. So it will be further simplified. Section 2, the experience. So the experience will have the project title, organization, your job title. The job title, these are mandatory fields, most of them. And then which area in your domain area. And then what is the approach or methodology followed in the project? Okay, that is whether it is predictive or agile, you need to specify. What was the team size? What was the project budget? And the last one is most important. Which month and year to which month and year? Okay, so sometimes my project is still in progress, people may say. So you can just click this in progress. System will automatically take it up to the date when you submit the application form. And it will automatically get calculated here, how many months getting accrued. So if your one project is, let's say 18 months, that will get approved, then you need to fill the same details for the next project. Very simple. And the little difficult part is this. Okay, you need to describe your experience. Okay, so that's where you need to write an essay, one-page essay approximately. I'll just explain you how to do that. Okay, the third part is very much formality. What is your address, name in your identity card, and the name to be appeared in the certificate, your contact email ID and phone number, etc. Okay. So before I go into that experience writing part, I'll just give you a small checklist, the do's and don'ts. So PMI says here, your project should be a reasonably serious one. Okay, for example, my own personal wedding. Okay, you should not treat it as a project. I spent about 6 months to find out my partner, and this is how I arranged it. That is not permitted. Okay, and earlier I used to encourage even academic research project. Now they say don't write your academic research project or towards the degree granting. You shouldn't do that. And simple things like creation of a newsletter and your own personal home improvement projects, they say avoid writing those projects. It may not be acceptable by PMI. Okay, these are simple checklist. You can make a note of it. And then the projects what you have done should be mutually exclusive. Okay, without an overlap. Because overlap, PMI will discount it. Okay, only the mutually exclusive experience will be taken into consideration. So you can avoid it. And then they say you should not combine multiple projects. But sometimes when you do on a certain maintenance role or something, it is unavoidable. You have to choose the topic, combine, and then do that. There is an art of writing such experience that you need to do that. Some people make a mistake in terms of writing the project name. Okay, so that, okay, you should be a little careful. You should not write your role on the project name. Okay, project name should be clearly the name of the project, like a CRM implementation, ERP implementation. Okay, design, build and operate or commission a power plant, something like that, it should be there. Okay, these are simple guidelines, but some people miss it. And then the experience part, I will explain it in detail. So here they have given a very small, simple guideline, how you have to write your project description. I'll cover it in detail in the next slide. And other thing to be avoided is the entries do not include routine operational and administrative tasks and responsibilities. Okay, so you need to be careful. So generally, you can truncate your experience. Let's say you work 40 hours a week. Okay, you can include something like 30 hours. Okay, so then probably you may have to give more years of experience, 4 years, 5 years. You can do that. Okay, so don't include routine operational activities into your project. Of course, you might be doing it as part of your role, but don't include it in the project. And then the last 2 points, they don't ask you how many hours you worked, but they say that you should have reasonably worked. Okay, the same 4,500. You don't need to record it, but you have to ensure you have worked on the project. Okay, so I'll go a little deep dive how to write your essay. Okay, 100 to 300 words of experience. How do you document? So this is how the application form will look like. I explained the top part already, the name, title, year, from year to, size of the project, etc. Okay, so the total should be 36 months. The second part, I'll try to explain it here. Generally, you keep it between 200 to 500 words. Okay, in this description part, preferably you get it reviewed by a certified PMP or somebody who have trained you, the trainer and all, so that they'll give some useful tips how to align this experience summary in a most appropriate form. I'll give you a guideline how to write this experience summary. Okay, so the first sentence should be about the project objective. And the second sentence, what is the outcome of the project? Okay, outcome of the project is, these are the objectives. Upon completion, the project performance was demonstrated and it was handed over to the operation. Okay, what was the final demonstrated performance, you can say. And then the third sentence should start with your role. Okay, so that means it will start with as a project manager, senior project manager, project lead, or as a site manager, etc. You should start. Okay, and then continue, write very clearly in each domain of your project what is the role that you played. Okay, so you have to write maybe one paragraph for each domain. Okay, process part, people part, and environmental part. Okay, that's the one which will be, you will find it difficult. I'll drill down that part in the next slide, how you should write it. For example, you need to open the exam content outline document. Okay, there you will see a list of tasks. I'm going to discuss in detail towards the end of this talk. Okay, what are those activities? So for example, let's say business environment is one domain. It has 4 or 5 tasks. The first government, industrial ministry, environmental ministry, etc. So that part, okay, you need to, if you have performed it, then you need to write it. Okay, as part of this project, I worked with the Ministry of, let's say, Environmental and Welfare, and then worked on the approvals. Okay. Like that, and as part of task 2, I evaluated the project in terms of technical, financial, feasibility, and then developed the business case, and then got it approved from the senior management. Okay, the last. Okay, I worked with project stakeholders in terms of imparting the training and change management so that effective transition and outcome could be achieved. So this is how you need to write. Okay, mark the task, how you performed it, translate it into your summary. Okay, if you write these 3 sentences, obviously you will get 1 paragraph. Okay, the same way you write 1 paragraph on the process part and another 1 paragraph on the people part. Okay, how you built a team, motivated, resolved some conflicts. All those things, when you write it, it will automatically demonstrate to the reviewer, saying that you have done this role very, very well and you are eligible to apply for the PMP examination. Earlier, such essays were there only for PGMP and PFMP. So now they have introduced for the PMP as well. So finally, your essay will look like this. For 1 domain, I have written it. As the project manager, I discussed with the key stakeholders, identified the compliance requirements through a brainstorming session, and developed a compliance plan. I further discussed with the team about the key risks and constraints in meeting the above compliance. I evaluated the feasibility of the project, considering the benefits, high-level scope, schedule, budget, and other key parameters, obtained the approval for the business case. Okay, so this is how your summary should look like. I'll just pause it here. Any questions on this part? Okay, if you have, you can ask before I move to the next section. Anybody have any questions? So it is better you assemble the summary in a separate Word document or something, and then get it reviewed with some seniors, and then copy paste into your application form. So that's how it is. Sometimes it is embarrassing if PMI says that you have not played this role, etc., etc., if they return the application form. Shall I move on? Okay, I'll continue. Now, from January 2021, the domains, okay, will be like this: people, process, and business environment. Earlier, there were 5 domains only under the category process. Okay, many of you might be knowing. The domains were initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closure. So it was reflecting primarily a process and framework perspective. PMI now is making a radical change in its structure. Now still that initiate, plan, execute, control, and close applicable, but all of them will be put into this second domain. In addition to that, they added a separate domain called people, and for which they allocate 42% of the questions. And third domain will be business environment, whatever I just now explained. Generally, it was there in the previous PMBOK as part of chapter 1, 2, but most of the time some trainers or some people ignore it. So that is very, very important to emphasize that PMI has introduced this business environment, giving a uplifted focus with 8% of the questions. Okay, the total 100% is split like this. You can multiply it by 2, so that will be number of questions. Okay, people related 84 questions, process related 100 questions, and business environment 16 questions, total 200 questions. Now, the other important aspect is 50% of those questions will be from predictive life cycle and 50% of the questions will be from agile methodologies. Okay, that is a big change. Okay, especially people who work in hardcore petrochemical, refinery, construction projects, you need to kind of understand the spirit of agile. So you need to pay additional attention, because you would not have in spirit or in verbatim copybook style, you would not have practiced agile. So you don't need to worry about it, because overall the exam will be very simple, because predictive life cycle are more complex than agile methodology. So let it not bring any fear or uncertainty into you. The exam will be, our expectation is it is going to be relatively simple. Okay. Shall I continue? All right. Now the third major part is how the training is going to be. Okay. Accordingly, you need to align your roadmap. So I'm going to do that. So this is very important slide for many of you. From now onwards, okay, on the new syllabus, 35 contact hours training should be attended only from authorized training providers. Okay, even the chapters, okay, which is fully subsidiary of PMI, they need to apply with PMI, take themselves as ATPs and then impart the training. So only ATPs can provide the training, number one. Number two, even within that, authorized trainers only can provide the training. Okay, not anybody. Okay, authorized, the trainer should be retrained and certified by PMI. So every trainer should go through a train the trainer program, and then they have to write one assessment. They have to pay the fee for it, and then they will give a badge saying you are the officially trained, okay, PMI tutor. Okay, and those trainers will be attached with an ATP. Okay, with such organizations only you should go for the training. Okay, this is primarily because of bringing some standardization and quality globally. That's why PMI has got into this approach. The trainers will use PMI published courseware, okay, along with additional reference materials offered by the ATPs. Okay, so the material, course material, the PMP prep guide, all of them are standardized. I'm going to show you the glimpse of it, how the prep guide will look like. Okay, so your job is made simple. You don't need to go here and there, buy multiple guides, question dumps, all those things may not be required. Okay, the PMI themselves provide you the necessary resources. Okay. Then fourth point, all aspirants should be enrolled with PMI even before you go for the training. Okay, this part will be handled by the authorized training partners. They will enroll you in with the PMI and then give you a portal access. Okay, I'm going to show you that portal access. It is called PMI Choice Portal Access. There you can download, do the e-learning, all that part. Okay, so this is mandatory in the coming days. Okay, so we have to pay, every candidate have to pay $39 or $40 to PMI, which will be handled by your ATP, and then they give you those user ID, password. With that you can go into the PMI Choice portal, and there you will find the PMI published courseware along with the various other videos, templates, multiple things will be there in that. I'll show you the portal. Okay. Make sense? Okay, so this is how that PMI choice portal will look like. So you will see here, there is a student manual, okay, and then checklist and course files, okay. You can upload files, and then trainer can upload files for your references. And then there is a pre and post assessment survey is there. Okay, you can check as a pre-assessment what was your initial competency. After the class, you can do a post-assessment, and there will be a PMI feedback. Okay, PMI collects feedback across the world about the quality of the program, quality of the trainer, material, etc., for an ongoing improvement. Okay, all these things will be there. And this is a very recent development is there will be a certificate download page will be there. After the training, once you click, okay, the certificate, you can download it. And also the same credits will go to your member login. Okay, so automatically it will be approved because it is a authorized training. Okay, so this will be the PMI choice platform home page will look like. Okay, I'll just pause here for questions if any. Otherwise, I think I have opened it. I can even show it to you how it will look like. 1 second. Yeah. So this is the live what I have shown to you. Instructor manual. I have logged in as an instructor. So you will find it as a student manual, but literally it is the same. And then you will see in this, okay, certificate of completion. Upon completion of it, you can download it. Then spotlight videos. PMI started publishing a lot of small videos, okay, to drive home some of the soft and hard topics. Okay, so then some templates, checklist and all will be there in this folder. Okay, so this is the portal. I'll just click instructor manual. So you will find so this is the instructor manual. I can basically open it as a PDF and then download it. Open it as a screen reading version. Those things are possible. So this is how it will be. PMI will give 1 year access to this portal. Okay, so anytime you can go and read, download the documents and other things. You can also be in touch with your instructor. Okay, so that's the part they have introduced. I'll get back to my PPT. The manual will look like this. The PMI authorized PMP exam prep guide. Okay, the lesson 1, creating high performance teams. So you will see it is a different structure. Lesson 2, starting the project. Okay, plan and manage scope, plan and manage budget resources. So this is rewritten from the PMBOK in alignment with the exam content outline document. Okay, that means it is like the syllabus and the courseware is very beautifully matched. Okay, so this along with your PMBOK will be excellent reference for preparing the examination. So lesson 2, starting the project. Lesson 3, doing the project. So you will see execution related aspects are covered here. Lesson 4, keeping the team and project on track. Okay, largely people centric plus monitoring part of it. Okay, will be here. And the 5th part, keeping the business in mind, which is the environment. Okay, manage compliance, evaluate and deliver project benefits and value, evaluate internal and external environment. So this is about EEF, OPA, organization structures, governance, all those things are covered here. And support organizational change. Okay, these are all some of the new topics, okay, which is not well addressed in 6th edition. You will find this in the guide, and continuous process improvement. Okay, so this is, you can say, rewritten PMBOK with the examination focus. Okay, so that is what will be there. This you can print it also. It is a printable copy, but it is a exclusive use for the student. Okay, you should not publish it in a common site for others' use, which is a copyright violation. Yeah, any question before I go into preparation roadmap? Moderators, have you received any questions?
Yes,
Hi, sir. There are a number of questions that are coming, and I've been answering them in the Q&A section. So
Very
I've
good.
been posting the answers to that.
Okay. So that means the open forum, we can handle it at the end, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Sendil and Mohammed, can I continue?
yes, you can.
Okay. Okay. Now, especially for the aspirants, this will be very useful. What in the new format, how do you align yourself, okay, from a zero date, okay, taking a decision to go for PMP until you successfully pass the exam and see congratulations on the screen, how to go about. Okay, I'm going to give you a short roadmap. This can also be useful for the chapter volunteers, how you can support your students. Okay. Now, the first thing is register for the training with ATP. Once you evaluate yourself in terms of qualification, experience, and more importantly, taking a decision to go for PMP certification, then register with the an ATP. So make sure the trainer is authorized by PMI and the organization is approved training partner, authorized training partner. And second, okay, the green activity is to be done by the training partner. So the ATP registers the participant at PMI choice portal. The ATP will purchase the voucher or license and then enroll the participant and then send the participant with the login. Okay, user ID, password they will send, and then they will provide the access to the PMI choice portal. Okay, this they will do it either a week before the training or due on the first or second day of the training. Okay, if it is an accelerated training, the ATP should complete it before the training. Okay, so that during the training they have the access to choice portal, and then go ahead with imparting the training. If it is accelerated, it should be 4 or 5 days. If it is a weekend, it could be 4 to 5 weeks. So depending upon the training partner's schedule, complete the training. After complete the training, then you can submit the online application form. You can also download the 35 contact hour certificate from the choice portal. Okay. Then receive approval and pay examination fee. PMI will take 5 to 10 working days to approve your application. You can pay the fees and then continue with your preparation for the examination. Okay, now you have the PMI supplied prep guide plus PMBOK plus ATP also can provide you with mock exam and other support. And then once you are ready, book your appointment with Pearson VUE, and on the appointed day, go and take the examination and celebrate the success with your family and colleagues. So this is the 9-step process, which typically you can complete it between 6 weeks to 12 weeks, okay, depending upon how you are taking up the training. So generally our suggestion is, okay, your roadmap should be limited to 3 months, okay, so that with the same pace and speed. You can take the training, continue with your preparation, and then take the exam and celebrate. Okay. Now, how ATPs can further add value? Okay, they have to do these 3 green area, and all the other orange ones the student has to do. Okay, that is your responsibility. The green ones are ATP's responsibility. Now, for example, we as a ATP, we give support to our students like this. Okay, whatever I have told, it is there. And see, the first step, we give them the choice portal access, and then provide the training. And then we basically have a cloned application form, ask the student to fill it, and we ourselves review it, and then give it to them in the form of a Word document. They can copy paste in the PMI portal and receive the approval from PMI, pay the fees. And then we do some regular certification follow-up sessions or refresher sessions, depending upon the type of training what we do. And also we provide mock exams and help them. And then they'll be very confident. They can go and book the slot and then get certified. So as chapter volunteers, you can also do this for your students, and we can also help you. Okay, Prashant, Ratna can help in supporting the Riyadh Saudi chapter in giving this additional support. Okay, so this is the way you can develop a roadmap and then follow the roadmap and then get certified. You should enjoy the journey. Okay, it should never be a kind of a heavy burden for you. If you go systematically, I always tell people that to treat it as your own personal career project. Okay, this is the roadmap. Develop a plan. Okay, and then follow the plan, and you will predictably complete it. All right, I'll give a quick walkthrough of the new ECO document. Okay, as I told you, 3 domains: process, people, and business environment. The process, 50 questions, sorry, 50% of the question, and 100 questions. Now, each domain, when I say domain, process is a domain, people is another domain, environment is a third domain. Under each domain, there are list of tasks, okay, that speaks about the underlying responsibilities of project manager in each domain. Okay, for example, manage conflict is a task under people domain. Okay, and under each task, okay, there are a set of enablers. Okay, the enablers will enable you with the help of a knowledge element or a tool or a technique element, okay, to perform the task. So under each task, there is a set of enablers. Okay, so for managing the conflict, the enabler first interpret the source and stage of the conflict, analyze the situation, okay, the context, and then evaluate and recommend and resolve or reconcile with the most appropriate conflict resolution. So these are the 3 enablers to manage conflict, which is one of the tasks within people domain. So this is the hierarchy. Okay, domain, task, and enablers. Let's go and have a look at it. Process, there are 17 tasks. Okay, I have slightly regrouped it so that you will be able to understand the sequence. This is not the way PMI documented. I have been slightly regrouped. For example, process framework perspective, first you need to establish the methodology. Is it going to be a predictive life cycle or agile life cycle? If it is agile, is it adaptive or incremental or iterative? First you need to establish. And then based on that, you need to set up a program project governance. Okay, that is part of environment. And then you need to get into the other part of it. Initially, you need to evaluate the business value. Okay, Then this will talk about the business case and other stuff. And then you speak about the stakeholders. Okay, how do we engage stakeholders and how do we manage the communications? And then your plan and manage scope, plan and manage schedule, and then resources, quality, risk, procurement, and integration. Okay, so if you look at it, you will see a kind of a pattern following. And then when it comes to the execution processes, you will see manage artifacts, manage changes, manage issues, manage knowledge, and then manage the transition of the phase or the project, and then bring the project or phase to a logical closure. So what is different? Okay, that is something you will be interested to see. In the conventional or up to December 2020, it was a strict rule book kind of thing. Okay, inputs, tools, techniques, outputs, those outputs will form as an input. One way it is good, okay, you can use your left brain, think logically. But now the future is going to be more principle based. Okay, when I say principle based, it will be left at a little abstraction level. Okay, this is the principle. This is how you need to go about. Within that, you define your own input, tool, technique, and output according to the nature and the complexity of the project. Okay, so the good news is the 7th edition PMBOK, probably half the size of the current PMBOK. I'm just speculating, I may be wrong, but it is going to be very, very simple document. Okay, that is where the PMI is going. So the next people domain, 42% of the question, that is 82 questions. Okay, so it speaks about leading a team, supporting the team performance, empowering the team and stakeholders, and then build competency through training and orientation, and manage conflicts, okay, among the team, among the stakeholders. So this is further around team perspective. Earlier is little wider stakeholder perspective. Now from a team perspective, build, remove impediments, negotiate project agreements within the team, with the team, as well as with the outsourced partners in terms of teaming agreements, ground rules, etc. Collaborate with stakeholders, build shared understanding. So some of you who are exposed to Agile, you will see a lot of terminologies and language around Agile. Okay, impediments, teaming, collaboration, shared values, understanding, etc. Further, engage and support virtual teams, establish and define ground rules, mentor team and stakeholders, apply emotional intelligence when it comes to personal or team, interpersonal, behavioral issues. Okay, so this is around people, 17 tasks, 14 tasks and 42% of the questions. And the third aspect, business environment. Again, you will see compliance, benefit management and value delivery, internal and external environmental, and how you will cope up with the changes, and how proactively you will embrace organizational, cultural change as an outcome of the project. Okay, so these are the 4 major tasks under business environment. All right. Yeah. How am I doing with respect to time? We have another 12 minutes.
You will have 12 minutes. And
12
Mr. Yes, there is a. I think Mr. Mohammed have some question.
Yes, Mohammed. I'm almost done. So
Mohammed, yes, Ibrahim Mariko.
Yes, sir. You can unmute and ask the question.
Okay, you can go ahead. Maybe network concern. Yes, Mr. Srinivasan, go ahead. No problem.
Oh, he's not able to call. Okay.
Yes.
Now, there could be somebody, I'm sure many of them will come to chapter with this question. Okay, they applied for PMP in September, October, August, November, December. Okay, with a good attempt to complete the exam before December. But unfortunately, personal or business emergency or some reason they could not write the exam. Okay, now what should I do? They already hold the eligibility ID to write the exam, but they could not take the exam before December. Now, what is the way forward for them? As I told you, the domain itself undergoes a change, and there is going to be a lot of agile elements and oriented questions. So it will be difficult for them who have taken training in the conventional 6th edition, okay, process framework based training, and write the exam on the other part. Okay, so a well knowledgeable ATP will be really able to help you. Okay, so now what we recommend is to the such people, let them, though they already have the eligibility ID, but they do not have the competency enough to take the exam, to face the exam. So they can formally register with the ATP, okay? And then ATP will buy a license in PMI's choice portal and give it to them for a fee. Okay, so they get the PMI Prep new handbook and also the e-learning part, number one. And they are also attached to a trainer. Okay, the second thing, the same trainer can give a kind of a refresher program in alignment with the new curriculum. I anticipate it could be around 8 to 12 hours. Okay, a program, a 2-day maximum. We can groom the people who are already trained, have done reasonable preparation, but would like to go for the exam. So this is applicable only for those who hold the voucher to take the exam. Okay, they can give a bridge or refresher, and then they can go and take the exam before the expiry of the their eligibility ID. But anyone who start afresh must go through the 35 contact hours program. Okay, this transition I'm talking about only for those who already have the eligibility letter, but they don't have the competency or confidence to take the exam with the new syllabus. Okay, so we can guide them through this, and we will be launching such programs in December and January, February, about 2 to 3 months. So you can be in touch with Saudi chapter, and then maybe we can work together. Okay, so that's my last slide, and I would love to have some interactions. Last but not the least, every trainer, okay, authorized trainer, PMI has given a 200 question mock exam set. Okay, it is not a leaked exam, or it is simply a pattern how the final exam questions will look like. So this 200 mock exam will help the trainer to equip you with the examination focus. Okay, so I'm just giving you an insight. You can contact your ATP or trainer about it, more information. Okay, so that's the all about the presentation. I would love to talk to a few of you, answering your questions directly. If you have not received the answer from Prashant or Sendil or Ratna.
I have a question, if you allow me.
Yes, sir. We love to hear from you.
How the 5 process groups are currently shown in the new content? Because now I can see we have 3 domains and we
Yes.
have the topics, but how they are distributed right now? Because I believe projects are normally go through initiation, planning, execution, all the way to the closing.
Very good. Excellent question. Definitely, if it will be useful for everyone. I'll just take you to this slide here. Yeah, this is the slide. So if you look at it, the initiate, plan, execute, control, and close, all of them are encompassed in the second domain. So nothing goes out. Okay, everything is in. Now, if you look at it, in the execution process group, earlier 30% of the questions will be asked. That means 60 questions will be asked in only from execution process group. Now, predominantly, those questions are from people-centric. Okay, manage team, build a team, engage stakeholders, and monitor stakeholder engagement, manage communication. All of them are people-related questions. So now, it all will be there in the tools and techniques in the existing PMBOK. They just shifted all of them into first domain. So literally, it is the same PMBOK. Okay, the first 2 chapters will come under business environment, and all the processes will come under second domain process. All the people-centric communication, stakeholder, building, managing the team, all of them which were there as tools and techniques, they now elevate it as a domain 1, which is people domain. So this is actually, as a trainers, you can explain it to the people. Okay, then they will really feel comfortable. Okay, so nothing what is currently available in PMBOK is changed. Only the focus, okay, is coming in terms of people, process, and environment. Second major element is everyone should think in a agile perspective. Okay, depending upon the nature of the project, you should decide, okay, whether it is going to be a pure predictive or pure agile or a hybrid of predictive and agile. So this is a very, very important tenet a project manager should hold. So that is what they are bringing through this new change. Have I answered your question?
Yes, thank you.
All right, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Srinivas. Actually, we have another question. Actually, the new exam outline is about to start from January 2021. What I heard is currently there is an option to attend for the new outline exam that PMI is providing. Is it true, or currently the new exam approach is inactive?
Currently, if I am correct, you can opt for exam only up to December, but I'm not sure. Might be a very recent development. You can opt either to appear for exam before December or after December. Prashant, you have any idea?
Sir, actually, I think Senthil was asking about the pilot that we had earlier.
Pilot, oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but it was closed now, sir.
Yeah, earlier PMI ran a pilot, and even we participated in that pilot with one of a couple of our the volunteers. So that was briefly for experimentation. PMI did it, which PMI do in any new pattern, they do that. Okay, before they introduce, they give a fee concession and then recruit a set of people who will participate in the pilot.
Okay, clear, sir. Again, in the new exam pattern, if we come for, as you said, the 50% question from the agile methodologies, and again, if you refer to the PMBOK, now we are following for the PMBOK 6, and the most of the knowledge areas covered for the agile methodologies. What you are recommending for preparation? for the
Okay, good.
agile areas?
Very, very nice question again. Earlier in the current 6th edition, you will see in the initially, it will talk about emerging trend in project time management, and then agile consideration, tailoring. Okay, some of these sections, students don't look at it. Okay, now until the 7th edition comes up, the students have to carefully read those part. Okay, if the project follows agile methodology, okay, how the same knowledge area need to be tailored or relook at it. And also when it comes to tools and techniques, even in during the process description, in the 6th edition itself, they will have it. If the project follows agile, WBS should be like this. If the project follows agile, scheduling should follow agile release planning. All those things students should be taught and they need to understand it. Plus, there is another practice guide for agile, appendix document or a complementary standard PMI gives. Okay, many of them don't read it. Now they have to read that particular standard. It is about 120 page document, and the students should be encouraged to read that particular document.
Clear, sir, clear. Dear audience, ladies and gentlemen, you have any questions? Yes.
Everybody is very silent. Yeah.
I can ask the last question if you allow me.
Yes, please.
Before, يعني, for me as a PMP trainer, before we started with the initiation, the planning, so it makes logic to connect all the dots together for the course. Okay.
Yeah.
Currently, we have highly performing team element. Can we think of these elements of the first lesson as a part of initiation, and then the next lesson is planning, then the next lesson is execution?
Very, very nice question, brother. See, what we need to do is, I don't know, because as a trainer for the last 20 years, I'm really not comfortable the way PMI gave the course outline. Okay, we need to
Okay, there is a network interruption from his side. Prashant, do you want to take over?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, Prashant.
Yes, sir. So what is the question?
Yeah, sir, you can ask the question again to Mr. Prashant. He will be answering your query.
Yes, please.
You mean my question?
Yes, sir.
My question was basically, as a PMP trainer, before I was using the process groups like initiation, planning, execution, all the way to closing, to connect the different dots to the students so they can comprehend what I was stating. Okay.
Yeah.
But currently the new form is like we are building highly performing team, then we are starting the project. So can we consider the elements of the first people domain as elements that could be considered in the initiation phase?
Yes,
this was my
Srinivasan sir is back.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I was just trying to tell how we structure the outline. So I was telling introduction, environment, and then process as we did before. And then we are doing another 2 sessions exclusively people. Okay, so we tried to map people centricity as a focused workshop for about 8 to 12 hours. Okay, and then finally, what we are also doing is give 4 hours exclusively on Agile, okay, which is very important, especially for the new people who are not exposed to Agile. We run a half-a-day workshop only on Agile. Okay, so that helps the students to get the perspective. So we don't mingle everything. We do introduction, environment, process, and then people, and then a pure Agile. So this is how we do it. We are going to do the December, November sessions also like that. If you want, we can send that course outline. You can start looking at it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yes, any other questions, open questions?
So 2 participants have
Yes.
raised their hands.
Yes, yes, Mr. Nawaf have some question. Yes, Mr. Nawaf.
I think Nawab's question answered, I guess. No.
Okay, maybe in the Kapka.
Yeah.
Hi. Thank you for the presentation. I have a very small question regarding the 7th edition. When it will be released?
They say it will come in the beginning of 2021. I expect it around Q1 2021. You may see an exposure draft. The final version may come around June. I mean, this is, they just indicate that early 2021 it will come.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Mr. Srinivasan, I have one question. This new exam outline, how long it will be continue? What is the frequency of changes will happen about the exam outline?
Usually it is 5 years, 4 to 5 years. So this is introduced in 2019. So the new content outline will be there 2024.
Okay, thank you. I think we are running out of the time. So do you have any questions? The last call from our side. Yes, Mr. Intakap Khan. Yes, proceed, please. Mr. Aziz.
Hello?
Yes, Aziz.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
I think
You are audible, please.
Yeah, when is Proventure starting these new courses for 2021?
We have already started in the course in September itself.
Okay.
We are currently running. Every month we run a program. It is fully virtual, and you can be in touch with us.
For working professionals staying in Saudi Arabia, how are you planning? Like virtual instructors will be available over the weekends, or how, because of the time difference?
Yes, we provide it like that. So we do
means
both.
like Friday, Saturday, like this?
Yes, we can actually do an exclusive session aligning to your timeline.
Okay, but it will run for quite long time, I believe, maybe 4 to 6 weeks something. Because the working people here are available only over the weekends.
That is how we run the programs. We don't run it 8 hours a day because it is very difficult to absorb. Yes. So we have some workbooks, case studies and all. So normally our program is structured as 4 weeks or 5 weeks program.
Okay, very good, Mr. Yeah. One more last question. With this new examination for 2021, which edition are you following? 7th edition or the old edition, 6th or 5th?
Currently, PMI prescribes 6th edition only. But in addition to that, they have already released that ATP, I mean guide, no, prep guide. So
Okay.
that way the curriculum is fully aligned with the new syllabus.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Srinivas.
Yeah.
Senthil sir, we have given the webinar feedback link in the chat.
Okay, clear.
So participants can fill up if they do not have any.
All right. So now we are running out of the time now. So it's a great, I think we have covered all the questions. Thank you so much, Mr. Srinivasan sir, for your great time. And you explained and you gave a very good awareness about the PMP new exam outline. And really to give us the confidence, not only for the PMP aspirants, for the mentors, for the instructors, for the trainers, for each and every people who are engaged in the project management. And really it is useful for the PMI KSA chapter. And once again, thanks on behalf of PMI KSA. And
yeah, one request, all of you who are here in the call, you can put your feedback in the link provided. We will compile it and then send it to our chapter volunteer group. That will help them to organize, improve with the improved delivery and other feedback, they will implement it.
okay, actually, where is the link? Already it is shared, right? Madam Ratna has shared already.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. It is there in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, clear.
So as you leave, please submit the feedback so that your even the contact will be available with the chapter and us, so it will be more useful for you.
All right.
Any other session you are going to held in the near future about this PMI KSA? Are you planning anything?
I think that Abdul Aziz is the one which initiated it. We will communicate it. You can put in your feedback form and they will do it. In fact, somebody suggested that this presentation, he will deliver it in Arabic. So you can request for an Arabic translated version.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So once again, thank you so much for the participants, of course, the organizer, and especially the special thanks to the Mr. Srinivas and their team. Thanks to Madam Ratna and your team for a cooperative interaction. You covered up most of the questions again. And thank you again for joining us today. And definitely we will see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity. And I'm also a member of Saudi Arabia chapter, so we can have more interactions in the future. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.